Hello neighbor, this is Curt with eTrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Thule Verse Bike Rack and see how it interacts with our 2024 Nissan Rogue. Now the Thule Verse is an excellent bike rack in that it's very versatile and can accommodate all different shapes and sizes of bike. It's a wheel-mounted bike rack, so it's going to clamp down on your front wheel to secure it to the rack. So there's no frame contact. So if you're someone with a carbon fiber frame or a custom paint job, you can rest easy knowing that there won't be any damage done to it from the bike rack. However, if your bike does have fenders, I would suggest you do take a look at a frame-mounted bike rack, plenty of which are available right here at etrailer.com. But it's going to accommodate a wide tire and a wide wheelbase, so again, that versatility is going to come in really handy for somebody that has multiple different styles of bikes, or if both riders using the rack have different styles of bikes as well. There's really 2 points of contact. We have our arm and hook mechanism here attached to the front wheel, and we've got a ratcheting wheel strap here in the back. This back tray can slide back and forth to accommodate different lengths of the wheelbase. It's also going to have a spot here for your cable lock. So you're going to be able to secure the bike to the rack easily, and that is going to be key-to-like to our latching mechanism in our hitch as well, and can be key-to-like to your other Thule accessories using Thule's one-key system. This is going to accommodate 60 pounds per tray, so bikes up to 60 pounds, like a lot of those e-bikes that are on the market now, this is going to be a great option for. And really, overall, it's a very stylish and good-looking bike rack as well. Plus, coming from Thule, Thule is definitely known as one of the more premium manufacturers, and their stuff is very, very nice. The other thing that we want to take a look at mainly, though, is how does it fit our Rogue? And the first thing I always want to look at is how close are the bikes to the back of the vehicle. And in this case, we've really got a lot of room back here. I'm in no danger at all of the bike contacting the back of the vehicle. Even on a really rough terrain or a rough road that I'm going down, there's no chance really that this is going to hit it. And this is not a small bike that we have on here. This is a large frame bike with 14.5-inch handlebars and 4.25-inch pedals. So this is on the larger side of bikes, and if I feel comfortable with this one fitting on here, I'm going to feel comfortable with most bikes fitting on here as well. The other thing, though, is like with any hitch platform bike rack, we are going to have some obstruction visibly. We're going to see a lot of the top of the bike, particularly the seat and the handlebars, through our rear window. We are going to have some partial blockage of our taillights, license plate, and rear view camera. So it's really important to understand just what kind of footprint this is going to leave behind the vehicle. So from the bumper to the furthest point of the bike rack, we're at just under 36 inches, maybe 35.5, but still, that's about 3 feet extra that you have off your bumper back here that you're going to have to account for whenever you're backing into a tighter space or parallel parking. The other thing we're going to take a look at is ground clearance. And the ground clearance, I'm going to take from this bumper here underneath our handle. And ground clearance for us is going to come out to 15 inches. 15 inches really should be plenty not to be concerned about with some of those steeper inclines or driveways, but because of how far away this is from our bumper, it is something that you definitely want to keep in mind. Now, I had also mentioned that this can accommodate bikes up to 60 pounds, so let's take a look at how high our wheel trays are so we understand just how high we're going to have to lift our bike regardless of what it weighs. So the front tray here is going to be 17 inches, and this is a tiered bike rack. It does get higher up as we get further away from the bumper. So 17 inches on the front tray. On the back tray here, we're at about 18.5 inches. So however much your bike weighs, make sure it's something that you're comfortable lifting up and down from that height. However, if you're not, there is an available ramp to go with the Thule Verse, and it's available right here at etrailer.com. So one of the most common questions we get when it comes to a hitch bike rack is, will I have access to my cargo area? And between the Thule Verse and the Nissan Rogue, we will. So through the handle, I'm just going to squeeze that latch mechanism, tilt it away from the vehicle, come around, and we'll open our lift gate. And as you can see, this has a pretty aggressive tilt to it, so we have more than enough clearance to get in and out of the lift gate of our Rogue. But now I can get in, get different equipment, change shoes, get more water, whatever it is I need to get from back here without removing the bike from the bike rack. Or maybe you're on your way home from the trail and you need to stop and get some groceries or something like that. you can do all that with ease. And to get it back into its riding position, we don't have to engage the latch to do it. We just want to brace the bike, lift up on the tray. When we hear that click, we know we're back up into our locked riding position and we're ready to get back on the road. And the Thule Verse is very simple when it comes to loading and unloading your bike. We're going to start back here with the rear wheel strap. We're going to just depress this gray button, release our strap, feed it back through the spokes, whoops, and clear it out of our way. Then we're going to brace the frame of the bike. We're going to come around. We're going to engage this latch here, lift up on our hook, and clear the wheel. But now we're ready to take our bike down, and we're either ready to store it or go ahead and hit the trail. Now, the Thule Verse is going to be made of aluminum and it's going to be powder coated, so it is going to be very corrosion and rust resistant. However, even though it's aluminum, it still weighs in at about 58 pounds. So it's probably not going to be something that you're going to want to be, installing and uninstalling a whole lot. But if you do find yourself taking it in and out of the hitch a lot, there is an available wheel kit that you can attach to this so that you can roll it from your storage area up to the hitch rather than carry it. Or if you're leaving it in the hitch, it also has a stowaway position. Sorry about that. And you're going to engage that through the same lever that we had here, except instead of letting it drop, we're actually going to lift it up against the bumper, just like so. And we're going to significantly reduce that footprint that we had behind our bumper. So now, rather than having about 3 feet back there, we've got it reduced down to about 11 inches. So we've cut that down by more than 2/3. However, you still want to be aware that you've got about an extra foot back here that you need to account for in those tight situations. Because while it's up in this position, we've regained full visibility out of our back window and our taillights. However, we have a lot of blockage on our license plate and on our rear view camera. So understanding that this is still back here is really important. But in order for you to kind of remain safe, and if you want to make sure that you're compliant, there is an available license plate and light kit for the Thule Verse, also available right here at etrailer.com, and that's something that you could plug in through your 4-way wiring. So the Thule Verse is a really nice bike rack in that it is very reliable and durable. It's compatible with a lot of different styles of bikes, and it's also very, very easy to use. But if you decide the Thule Verse is what you want for your Nissan Rogue and you get it and you have the opportunity to use it a few times, please share with us what you think of it in the comments below. We would love to share your experience with other neighbors so they can make the best decision for themselves. Once again, this is Curt at eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.